What's up, guys? You're listening to another episode of Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. In this episode, we're going to talk about hard and soft skills that lead to success on Amazon. Before we dive into this content, though, I do want to say if you guys did not get a chance to listen to my previous episode, episode 314, I highly recommend it. I strongly believe it could be the best episode I've ever recorded on my podcast. If not, it's a top 3 episode. So please make sure, if you haven't already, take the time to go listen to episode 314. We've got some great episodes on the way for you guys. Just to give a little teaser about what's coming up on the show, I've got a new tool, guys. A new tool. This is an addition to Jungle Scout. I'm still a big Jungle Scout user. I still use it. But there's another tool that I want to talk about. I've been using it now for almost a month with my Jaguar students for my own purposes to really learn the ins and outs of it, see what it's capable of, and I am falling in love with this tool. It is incredible. So episode coming up for you guys on that tool. I've got a massive student interview for you guys. This is one of my first coaching students ever who just sold $172,000 in the month of December, and he's absolutely crushing it. You're not going to want to miss that episode. More episodes lined up for you guys, more interviews with people outside of just my students. We're going to bring on some more experts in different fields, intellectual property, sourcing, business, all sorts of things that relate to Amazon, obviously, and your business operations. But I want to bring in some more outside experts to share some advice and tips for you guys. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's see what we can do to help as many people as possible, because guys, this is an amazing opportunity. There's an endless amount of money to be made. There's a piece of the pie for everyone. So by you guys leaving reviews, subscribing, sharing this with friends, posting on social media, you're spreading the good news. You're helping other people as well, I guess vicariously. So just know that other people out there appreciate you for introducing them to the podcast. All right. Hard and soft skills that lead to success on Amazon. This podcast idea was born from conversations that I've had over the past few weeks with some of my high-level coaching students. And I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I am constantly looking at the dozens, if not hundreds almost, of people that I've mentored or coached who have come through programs in various elements to see, okay, what are people doing that is leading to success, money, profit, income, right? And then what are people doing that is not working? And this is what I do all day, every day. That's the beauty of this, is I have all the time in the world to do this for you guys, to gather this data, to implement these things so that you guys don't make mistakes and you can make more money in hopefully less time. And I've realized that success on Amazon, again, from analyzing all these students and clients and people, success on Amazon is not just about hard skills. It's not just about hard skills. There are soft skills that also make a massive impact on the success of your brand. In fact, we actually will touch on kind of some of these indirectly with my interview coming out here in a couple episodes for you guys. So there's, again, another teaser for you. Let's talk about these hard skills that I think we all think about when we're like, okay, how am I going to make money on Amazon? How's my brand going to work? How am I going to, make this happen? These are the skills that I think we mostly focus on. So the first hard skill is product research. Okay. I got to be good at doing my product research. I'm going to use Jungle Scout. I'm going to use other tools out there. You look at the numbers for a product, you analyze the market, you're looking at Google Trends, maybe you're even analyzing social media accounts and data. And then you look at those numbers, you look at the data, and you understand what they're telling you. Okay. So that's a skill. In order to be successful on Amazon, you need to have that skill or learn that skill on how to do product and market research. Now, here's the thing about hard skills. Before we, kind of dive into a few more of these, I would say that hard skills on Amazon are fairly black and white, or we could even say fairly measurable, right? So a lot of these skills that we're talking about are elements or operations of the business, or skills even, right? That can be measured with numbers. So product research, you measure it with numbers. You go look, what is the keyword search demand? How many times does this word get searched? And this word, and this word. How many sales is this competitor getting? What is the price of this competitor? What are the fees of this product? What is the cost from this supplier? These are all numeric, measurable elements of the business. So these can be learned very simply by simply knowing where to find the numbers and knowing what numbers mean what. The second hard skill on Amazon would be crunching the numbers. So there's doing the product research, finding out products, what products sell, what price points, what's the market. But then we go to actually crunching. So that is like analyzing pricing, looking at all the different price points of the competitors, finding the average market price, finding the average bundle, the quantities, the offers, number crunching for supplier costs. You got to be able to know like, okay, what is the cost of the product, how to find, cost of packaging, cost of shipping, taxes, importing, all the different numbers that go about that, crunching those, using the FBA calculator, figuring out what profits are like, figuring out other expenses, maybe operating fixed expenses of your business, and then being able to crunch all those numbers to see, okay, does this make sense? Does this product make sense at these numbers? Okay, so that's a skill. It's a skill that you need to learn to be successful. If you don't know how to number crunch or you're not good at number crunching, you don't know how to do the calculator, the FBA calculator, you don't know how to implement all these numbers, guys, you need to learn how. And shameless plug here, if you want to learn how to do this, I have software, I have tools, I have programs to help you guys do this. I've got links for Jungle Scout for you guys. I've got links for other tools. I've got my programs. Go check out my website, hop on a call with us. We're happy to discuss with you guys at no cost. You can talk to my team to find the right program for you. So if you're like, I don't know how good I am about crunching numbers, let's talk about it. Talk with my team. We'll figure out where you're at and we'll make a recommendation for what we think is going to help you the best. We're not here to just like sell people and make the most money for whatever our most expensive programs are. There's a reason I have Piranha, Anaconda, Jaguar Light, Jaguar, and all these different one-time services and management. There's a reason we have a whole catalog of services and offerings for you guys. It's to make sure we find the right fit for you, right? We want everyone to be successful in their own way in what works for them. Third hard skill on Amazon, building product listings. If you want to be successful on Amazon, you need to have great product listings, okay? You need to be able to do keyword research to optimize your listing for those keywords. You need to be able to do SEO. We throw around this word all the time, SEO, and I feel like if you're still kind of new to this, you're like, why does everyone keep saying SEO? What the fetch does this even mean? Search engine optimization. Amazon is a search engine. Google is a search engine. It's a place you go to search for things. So you optimize, you make your listing, your web page essentially on Amazon, the best it can be. So when people search for your product, you show up in the search results, just like you would on Google. If you're writing blog articles, you optimize your blog article, you put in the right keywords and things and organize it appropriately and make sure the content is good. So if someone searches Google for the best way to cook halibut, which is what I looked up this morning, your article shows up first and people click on it and they follow your recipe to cook the best halibut. I'll have to let you guys know how that goes, by the way, on social media. I've never cooked it before, but yeah, that's SEO. Okay. Just overall, just optimizing your listing for the Amazon algorithm, optimizing title, bullet point, description, A+ content, video, pricing, all those elements of just optimizing the listing. This can be learned. This can all be learned. There's tools out there. There's AI out there. There's things out there to help you do this. You can measure click-through rates, measure conversion rates, run brand experiments. You go on Amazon, if you're brand registered, you run a brand experiment, split test 2 different titles. Which one performs the best? The numbers will tell you. Boom, now you know you have a better version. It's quite black and white, right? It's quite numeric. Fourth hard skill to be really successful on Amazon, guys, PPC. Can't tell you how many messages I've gotten over the past few months from people who say, Andy, I started to take PPC seriously and my sales took off. Again, I promise you, I'm not trying to toot my own horn too much. But I've gotten a lot of messages lately from people where we've done their PPC setup for them or we're running their ads for them and they're seeing awesome results. And it's not a surprise to me because, a lot of these people who I set up their ads for them, right, as my one-time service, they weren't running ads at all. So simply by having these ads, they're finding results. And other people who maybe had some ads, but they didn't really know what they were doing or they weren't set up very well, by simply having a nice, good setup for them, they started to see better results. So running PPC, and that includes everything, guys. That's not just like, set up your campaigns and you're done. Set them up, test, analyze the data, make adjustments based on the results of the data. That's really what it comes down to. And again, all those can be numerically measured so you can understand your numbers, make the tweaks, make the adjustments, analyze the numbers, make the adjustments. Over time, you'll start to see improvements. The last hard skill I wanted to mention was operating the business, okay? The hard skill of just like being a business operator. I know there's a lot of you out there who are getting into this and this is your first go at business, your first go at e-commerce, your first go at online business. Like maybe you're a school teacher or maybe, I don't know, you're a plumber. Like e-commerce on Amazon, on the internet, social media, like that is just completely foreign to you. That's okay. The nice thing again about this is this can be learned. Learn how to do logistics. Educate yourself on logistics, on sourcing from overseas, right? Educate yourself on packaging, labeling, barcodes, UPCs, that kind of stuff. Educate yourself on finances, cash flow, bookkeeping, accounting. Educate yourself in all these different areas and then execute all these different areas. You may think like things like, oh, bookkeeping, like, it's not that important. Like if it's messy, it is what it is. But I'll tell you guys from personal experience, bookkeeping can make a massive difference for your business. We were the type, and this is our mistake. I'm telling you guys, learn from our mistake. We were the type that like for the first year, for a year and a half, really, we weren't really even doing bookkeeping, first of all, like no tracking. Then after like a year, we're like, oh crap, we should probably start actually doing some bookkeeping so we know how much money we're actually making and figure out how to like scale this thing. So then we opened a QuickBooks account and I was doing the bookkeeping because everyone was like, oh, Andy, you know business and numbers good, so you do the bookkeeping. I'm not a bookkeeper. I took accounting in college and it was like probably the class I hated the most of all my business classes. But I did it and I like did it like, yeah, kind of pretty average. Like, okay, money in, money out. Great, guys, here's some profit. But still, we didn't know like, okay, how much is going to fees? How much is going to advertising? How much is going to this and that and that? It was just like, oh, we made money. Cool. But we couldn't really optimize our business. So once we finally outsourced and hired bookkeepers, it made a huge difference. And big shout out to our bookkeeping team, Ecom Balance. Hit me up, guys, if you need bookkeepers. We've been with them now for over a year. Valerie, my bookkeeper, she is amazing. I love Valerie. Shout out. I don't think she'll hear this podcast episode, but she is outstanding. Their team, guys, is so on top of the ball. So on top of the ball. I get my email every single month and I get my reports. And if I don't follow up, you know, if they need something from me and I don't follow up, they will follow up with me the next day and the next day, the next day, and they'll make sure I get it right. And they'll make sure if I need help doing, I don't know how to do something, they will help me with it. Like they have an amazing team. They sync with A2X so they can pull all the different data points from Amazon into QuickBooks. I'm telling you, these people are very good. These people are very good. So if you guys actually want a sweet deal with them, like I said, hit me up. I can send you guys a link. We've got some sweet promotions with them, some partnerships with them to get you guys squared away with your bookkeeping. So let me know on that. Well, let's recap hard skills really fast, okay? Let's just recap. So we've got product research, number crunching, building product listings, PPC, and operating your business. That last one I kind of just like cover and everything else, right? But if you can kind of really think about those 5 things, right? If you are good and you have those skills, that's going to lead to success on Amazon. But guys, hard skills alone don't necessarily guarantee success on Amazon. We got to think about the soft skills because I've worked with a lot of people now. It's been years now since I've been doing this. Hundreds of people have come through the virtual door, and there's a lot of people who come through the door with awesome hard skills. Like we're talking really technical people. They come from maybe statistics, engineering, mathematics backgrounds. Numbers are their thing. They're way better at numbers than I am. And if you guys listen to me talk on the podcast, you know I have to do every single addition, multiplication, whatever on a calculator because I can't do math in my head. But these people are good. Yet they still sometimes struggle. They sometimes struggle with actually building this brand and making money and turning this into an income, even though they have all those really good numeric hard skills that you would think like, oh, this dude or this woman is going to crush it on Amazon. Look at how skilled they are. But they don't have the soft skills, and those matter. So let's talk about soft skills on Amazon. The reason why I call these hard skills and soft skills, by the way, is, I mean, if you kind of translate this into just like the real world, where you think about like hard skills, like you're like, oh, I have a job interview. And they're like, what are your hard skills? Or they ask you for your hard skills and soft skills. You know, hard skills, I feel like in just life, society in general, are like those skills of like, I'm a plumber, I know how to fix a sink. Or I'm an engineer, I can design a bridge. Right? You have hard skills in medicine or engineering, right? You have computer science, you have hard skills. But then, you know, in your job interview, they want to know about your soft skills. Like, what are your communication skills? Like, what are your people skills? Like, do you work as a team? Like, those are like the soft skills that aren't like super defined and measured and credentialed per se. You know what I mean? You don't get a degree in like being friendly, but those are skills that matter. right? Those are skills that can make you lots of money in certain fields, right? So if we kind of translate this concept, and this was the whole goal, right, is try to translate that concept into Amazon specifically. And I would say some of the soft skills on Amazon that I noticed that lead to success are first, product conception. That kind of ties into product research, right? Product research and product conception kind of go hand in hand, because here's the thing. You can be really good at the hard skill of product research. Like, I'm really good at analyzing numbers. I know how to use Jungle Scout. Technology is my jam. Number. And you find a product and you're like, ooh, this is like the golden product opportunity. But when it comes to like the creativity, the intuition, the soft skill of like coming up with a product concept for that, what you found with your data, that's a different skill set. And again, that's not something that's super measurable, which is what makes these soft skills like so intriguing, but also I think what give you such a competitive advantage is because hard skills are a lot easier to learn, in my opinion, than soft skills. They can be learned and acquired, but I think it takes a little bit more effort. I would even say more trial and error to kind of learn those and figure those out. It can take a lot of failing and time really to get good at these soft skills. So product conception is designing a product that's different, that's unique, that's better than what's out there. There's really no formula. I know of no tool, maybe with AI, actually now you can use AI, but it's not perfect. Really, like the best ideas out there come from within, come from humans, right? Come from our intuition, come from our experiences, come from our interests. So I tell people all the time, guys, look for products, look for brands that you have an interest and experience with. That's how you're going to come up with product concepts. You're going to know how this needs to be different because you know something about the product, the brand, the hobby, the interest. The second soft skill that I think makes a big difference, guys, is the skill of content creation. It's one thing, guys, to just like take a high quality photo. Like anyone can go buy a nice camera. I've got like a $7,000 camera that I use. Anyone can buy a nice camera and take a 48 megapixel raw photo. But the composition of your content, and when I say content, I'm talking about like photo, video, audio, written content, right? For your brand, for your products. Composing content in the various formats. And that's for your Amazon listing. That's for your social media, for your advertising, right? All the different areas that you would use this content. Composition of a photo, how you're placing things in the photo, how you're framing, how your actors or actresses or whatever, the lifestyle images, your TikToks, your Instagram videos, your YouTubes, like all of that is a soft skill. Knowing how to do that in a way that's intriguing and pleasing to your audience. The ideation behind it all. What do you want it to look like? What are the colors you want it to be? How do you want the background to look? How do you want to structure it? How do you want to organize it? How do you want your layouts to be for your videos, for your A+ content, for your social media? Like all this, guys. Creation of content is a very creative element of the business. Here's the thing too, guys. I literally said this to my brothers this morning. Me and my brothers, we talk business a lot. The discussion came up about a specific AI software tool to do a certain task, right, for this business. My brother's like, hey, there's this AI tool actually that can do that a lot easier. And I said, honestly, the human element is a lot better. I understand that AI makes things easier, scalable, whatever, but there's certain things, guys, where the human element makes all the difference. And with content creation, I firmly believe that. There's Midjourney, there's all these AI tools now that can like make you images and make you videos. Like you literally don't have to do it. It just like creates it. I don't know how, but it does. But the human element, the human touch, the human feel behind content will always be there. And we as humans are intuitive enough to know what is real and what is fake. So the quote I said back to my brother in this group chat was, I said, if it's easy, everyone is doing it. If everyone is doing it, no one is standing out. I'll say it one more time. If it's easy, everyone is doing it. If everyone is doing it, no one is standing out. So keep that in mind, guys, when you're creating content, taking photos, composing things. Like if you're just going to like use AI to pump out something and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I made mistakes like this too in the past, but I learned that like, this is not it. This does not replace the human element. But that is how you're going to be different. That's how you're going to stand out, is do what's difficult, do what's different, do what's unique, do what's hard. Two more soft skills I just want to mention here to wrap things up. And these two both start with an I. They're actually the same one. Then I have one more. Innovation and improvement. I firmly believe this is a soft skill. And I think this skill also makes a massive difference in the longevity of your brand. This skill, if we could include like under this, would include gathering feedback, assessing customer complaints and concerns, updating your products, improving your offers, branding. That's a huge one. I had this conversation with a client a couple days ago because I was telling them, we had a quick phone call, and I was telling them like, hey, for your product, right? Like you got to make a big branding push. Like you got to build the brand off Amazon. Understand this bonus tip. Building a brand happens off Amazon, not on Amazon. You do not build brands on Amazon. You build your brand off of Amazon, at people's houses, in homes, in trade shows, on social media, on video, on audio, on a podcast. Like that's how you build brand. Amazon is just a marketplace. Amazon's where transactions take place and people buy stuff. You're not building a brand, you're making sales and having transactions take place, but building brand recognition, brand awareness, community, feel, trust, all those things, element of the brand, that happens off of Amazon. Think about all the best brands in the world, biggest brands in the world, whether you like them or not. I don't care what your opinion is of, maybe some of the big brands, the Apples, the Disneys, the Nikes of the world. The branding happens outside of the Apple store, outside of the Nike store, outside of the Disney store. The branding happens in the content. It happens in the Disney movies. It happens in the movie theater, right? It happens at Disneyland, on the rides, in the magic, in the feelings, in the emotions that it creates with people. That's why people love a brand and build a brand, is because it makes them feel a certain way. Think about Nike. Like Nike, the brand is built, guys, not in the Nike store. It's not like, ooh, Nikes have and the Nike store is super fancy. It's like this stuff must be really cool. That's not how Nike builds their brands. Nike could be in like a Costco warehouse and still probably sell the same amount of stuff, because the Nike brand is built on endorsements. It's built on LeBron James, Michael Jordan. It was built on Tiger Woods. It's built on all these other huge big name athletes, the best in the world, wear Nike. So if you as a kid, as a teen, as a 33-year-old washed up high school, college baseball player, if you want to be like them just for a day, you wear Nike. Like, yeah, maybe you're not going to be in the NBA. I'm 33. I play rec ball, now. But if I want to ball out just, a Wednesday night for an hour or two, if I want to fly like LeBron 12 inches off the ground for a nice layup, I'm going to wear my LeBrons, right? Or, it could be for, if I want to shoot like Steph Curry, I'm going to wear my Curry threes or whatever. But that's the point. That's the reason those brands are even what they are, is because we have this strong association of just do it. Be like Mike, like those type of things that they've done over the years to build their brand. Let's talk about the last one really quickly here. Last soft skill, mental fortitude. I think this is the best way to just tie off this episode. And I think this really kind of brings all these skills together, really. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the mental fortitude, which would include having the dedication, the passion, the commitment, the patience, the risk tolerance to make the moves necessary to move the business forward. If you don't have those soft skills, that mental fortitude to be an entrepreneur, to run your own brand, to build your own business on the internet, if you don't have that mental fortitude, none of these other skills really matter. You could be the best hard skill person, number crunching, Amazon listing builder, website tech dude in the world. But if you give up after 2 months because you're not patient, you don't have, you're not committed to the process, you're not going to be successful. So and even on the other side, maybe you have the hard skills and all the soft skills. Maybe you're like, I'm a numbers dude. I'm a stats, software, graphic designer. I know how to design products and do content creation, and I can gather feedback. Still, my friends, if you don't have the mental fortitude, you will not make money. I literally am a living witness of this. And again, I don't want to sound arrogant, and I'm really not trying to be cocky, but I possess all of these skills, and it's taken me time to acquire all these skills. To be honest with you, the skill that's taken me the longest time to acquire is mental fortitude. You guys have heard my story. If you've been with me for the years, you've heard my story. You've heard where I've come from. I was doing, driving to work, listening to Gary Vaynerchuk back in 2015. I was doing YouTube in 2017 in my parents' basement. I was doing all sorts of stuff. My friends all know this. They've been, following me forever on all this stuff. I'm a number cruncher. I went to college. I got a business degree. I studied information systems, supply chain, entrepreneurship, marketing, HR, all the things. I have all the skills. I'm good with technology. I'm good at analyzing numbers, believe it or not, as long as I have a computer with me in Microsoft Excel. I know how to build listings. I know how to write. I know how to do research. I know how to run ads. I know how to operate, like I said, a business. I went to business school. I have soft skills. I know how to use Photoshop. I'm pretty decent Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Premiere. Guys, you see it on my content. Like, I'm not saying I'm the best in the world by no means, but I know how to record a video. I know how to record a podcast. I know how to edit photos. Like, I know how to do all of these skills. I know how to assess data, make improvements, gather feedback. I have skills in everything I've literally listed out in this episode, but guess what? I spent years doing all these skills, implementing all these skills that I've acquired over the past lifetime of mine, and not made money, and had multiple failed businesses. And it all came down to the mental fortitude. I had shiny object syndrome many times early in my online business career, where it was, I'm going to do drop shipping, do that for 6 months and give up. I'm going to do blogging, do that for 7 months and give up. I'm going to do this YouTube channel, do it for 2 years. I'm going to start this podcast, do it for 7 months and give up. I'm just chasing all these shiny objects because I didn't have the mental fortitude. I didn't have the dedication. I didn't have the commitment. I didn't have the patience. And then risk tolerance, being able to take risks. I was scared. And guys, if you're this person where like, I'm scared to take risks, you are very normal. Most people are and that was me. I was scared to take risks. Maybe I had a little bit of money, but I was scared to spend it. I was scared to invest in a course. I was scared to run ads, Facebook ads for my whatever program or course I was selling back in the day. I was scared to order inventory for my drop shipping store. I was scared to do this for my Amazon business. And so I didn't take the risks, maybe the financial risks or the hard decisions that needed to be made to actually move the business forward. And so I was like, this is scary. I'm not going to make that decision. And then, let me go try this. And then it gets scary. You get to the point where you're like, I'm scared. And actually, this looks easier. And then you do that for 6 months and it doesn't really ever happen. So, I'm going to go try this. I'm going to go try stock trading. I'm going to go try. And you just bounce around and pretty soon 5 years have passed and you have nothing to show for it. Your bank account still says $0. It was only honestly within the past 3-4 years or so. First 8 years, that's what I did. I had no mental fortitude. I didn't have that soft skill yet. I was learning it long and painful way. But once I finally learned it and I was like, this mental element, and I started to take things seriously from a mental side, meaning I invested in courses. I paid thousands. I've paid $50,000 over the past few years in coaching program for me. Invested in coaching, invested in books. I've read dozens of books. I've listened to hundreds of podcast episodes. I've flown to conventions to educate myself, to focus on that mental fortitude, because all the other skills are there. I have those skills and they're getting better with time. But that one skill that I learned, this makes all the difference. Once I finally started investing into that financially, right? And with time and energy and effort, surprise, surprise, I started to make some money. Started to make a little bit of money from my online businesses. Surprise, surprise, I was able to quit my job, right? So surprise, surprise, I was able to build $1 million house, provide my family with the things they want for them to be comfortable. So I'm telling you guys, there's a lot more that goes into this than just those hard skills that we all think about at the surface level of running a business. Take time, invest in the soft skills as well. If you really, really want to make money doing this or anything. Guys, again, I'm a living witness of this. If you want to make money in anything, you want to be an influencer, you want to have a podcast, you want to have a YouTube channel, you want to sell courses, you want to sell coaching, you want to have an agency, you want to do e-commerce, you want to open a restaurant. I've never opened a restaurant, but pretty much anything you want to do, the person who is doing it has those, your boss, you maybe have a job, your boss or whoever founded that company once upon a time, they had all these skills and they implemented them, with mental fortitude being absolutely the number one. If you guys want a good podcast to go listen to How I Built This with Guy Raz. That's the one I've been listening to lately because I've been very inspired lately to just learn from like the biggest brands in the world, what they do. And it's so inspiring to go listen to those interviews and those stories with like Michael Kors and like the founders of all these huge companies and big time brands, because you're like, dang, must be nice, like $800 million a year. But you hear their stories of where they came from and, you know, the struggles and things they went through. You're like, dang, it's not like they were some crazy Harvard genius. They're everyday people just like me and you. But they learned and acquired extreme mental fortitude. These people are the best in the world in the mental fortitude and soft skills of business. Because you can hire people with the hard skills. But if you're going to be a leader, an owner, an operator, a builder, you know, an innovator, you really got to work on those soft skills too. Guys, I hope this episode was insightful, educational, hopefully inspiring, maybe a little bit for you guys. I'd love your feedback. I love getting those reviews. If you've made it this far and haven't left a review yet for me, please do so. Also, big shout out to everyone who's watching on YouTube. I know I'm getting a handful of views over there on YouTube, not near as many as we get listened to on the podcast, obviously, but I truly appreciate you guys here watching on YouTube, helping me grow my YouTube channel, reach more people, and try to help as many possible people as we can. It's a big world. There's a lot of opportunity. There's room for everyone. So let's do what we can to share this. Guys, once again, I'm Andy. You're listening to Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. We'll see you in the next episode.